Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, Kirk turned into the Eighth Doctor. He lost his memory and fell in love, like the Eighth Doctor does.
Constantly.
Constantly. God, we really do. That's what we should have a counter of, is how many Doctor Who references we make as we watch through Star Trek TOS.
Oh, far too many already.
That's it. Anyway, today we're watching an episode called And the Children Shall Lead.
It begins with the word "and"?
Yes, and the children shall lead. I just, look, I haven't looked at the Paramount Plus thumbnail yet. I don't know what I'm in for or anything. I'm literally just looking at the title. I have a feeling we're in for some terrible child acting.
I have a feeling I'm in for that too.
Just a hunch. I'll see if I'm right. I kind of hope I'm not, but I guess we'll see. We're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch And the Children Shall Lead. Season 3 really does suck, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can.
That wasn't good.
No, not good. It had maybe a couple moments.
It seemed like Shatner was on the same wavelength as us, though. It seemed like, like we had that pre-titles bit right before the opening credits played, where first off we found out all the guys, adults on the planet killed themselves. Super fucking dark, but they all killed themselves.
And the show doesn't shy away from that.
And the kids come running out and they start dancing around Kirk, and then you just have two really long shots of Shatner's distressed face, which is clearly meant to be oh no, these kids are really oblivious to all the death around them. But it comes off more as Shatner just hating his life at that very moment.
Right? He's so done with these children, he's only met them for 10 seconds.
It's so funny. I love it. But yeah, it was a mass suicide. All these guys killed themselves, and we learn later it was the doing of a guy named Gorgon.
Gorgon, yeah.
Gorgon is... what is he?
A god. He's just a god again.
I'm guessing it's a god.
But an evil god.
He's this telepathic dude who controls all these kids into obeying him or whatever. And then I guess eventually he's the guy that planted these, or at least he gave these kids powers, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the implication.
And he planted these thoughts of anxiety and depression in these guys' heads, and they all killed themselves eventually. And it was, I don't know, that's just a really dark idea. And I mean, they focus on it a fair bit, but not in a meaningful way, I feel.
Until the show needs it to be meaningful right at the end.
Yeah. But most of the time, man, I really just hated these kids. That was most of the episode. It's not even ooh, they're villains, I hate them so much, grr. No, I just really hated these kids. I had Miri flashbacks as we were watching it. It's still one of the worst episodes of this show, Miri, and this is right there with it, so it's no surprise.
They clearly only cast one kid. The rest are just people who work on the
it's
show.
Just cast members, kids or whatever, crew members, whatever. And poor, I really felt bad, especially for Majel Barrett, playing Chapel in this episode.
Yeah.
She has that horrible scene early on where she has to pretend she likes these kids and she's caring for them, and you can just see all over her face that she really hates working with these guys.
Right?
It's pretty bad.
They gotta make ice cream or whatever.
Yeah, and but yeah, so oh man, fuck. I really hated this episode.
I don't even really know how to talk about it at this point.
He's so eventually the kids start taking over the ship. They're trying to get to this planet called Marcus 12.
Yeah,
right?
Marcus 12. And I guess from there they'll continue their reign of tyranny.
Yeah, and so they start possessing different crew members on the ship to believe that they're either where they're supposed to be or that something horrible is happening, so they can't function properly on the ship.
Right, and they have to just keep doing what they've already been doing.
Yeah. You do get some pretty funny moments out of it, though, Sulu just continuously seeing this vortex of blades in space.
Right, so he can't turn because they'll hit the ship.
Yeah. Ahura, once again, it's happened a couple times where we just characterized Ahura as just super vain, where she just looks in this mirror and she sees herself all old and wrinkly, and it's just, once again, Star Trek, they haven't done it in a while, to be fair, but once again, Star Trek saying old person bad.
I recall that being more of a season 1 problem.
Most definitely. I was glad that we'd steered away from it for the most part, but whatever. Also, just poorly predicted old Nichelle Nichols there. I mean, come on, she fucking showed those guys. Yeah, a couple other funny things. I don't know. I like Chekhov with the two red shirts tag teaming him when he goes to get Kirk. Oh my god! Speaking of red shirts, oh my god!
So, they're in this wanted murder.
Oh my god! Part of the plot is that the kids make Sulu and Chekhov and everyone and Scotty and these other red shirts believe that they're where they're supposed to be. So Kirk sends these two red shirts down to the planet. Because they've
thinking they're still around the planet.
Yeah, so he sends these two red shirts to beam down. They're just standing there. They're gone. He tries to get them back quick. They were sent out into space. They're just fucking dead now.
Right. And the ship has already probably been long gone away from them.
Oh my god! Once again, really dark moment, but doesn't get focused on at all.
It's handled for like exactly a moment, long enough for Shatner.
Kirk again. Can we just talk about how fucking inept Kirk is as a character, as a captain specifically? He unknowingly just sent two of his crew members out into space, just fucking murdered them.
I mean, if I was Starfleet, I would say, listen. You have crazy adventures, I don't get it, but I'm not necessarily blaming you on that one.
Yeah.
It kind of happens on the Enterprise, apparently.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just so funny. Also, these kids have like this old guy, it's Gorgon, that they summon, I guess, by chanting, and apparently that's it.
Yeah, apparently they do like this ring around the rosy motion with their hands. Yeah,
they're in this circle, they start like spinning around as they chant, but then apparently all you need to do is just record the chant and play it. Like, nobody actually needs to say it. Gorgon just needs to hear it, I guess.
Right.
And so we use that to summon Gorgon at the end. And I don't know, he needs to be here to see the kids turn on him. So Kirk, horribly, once again, shows these kids these like clips of from the log that the main guy of this expedition took. Of the adults and the kids on the planet playing together, and he shows them all dead in their graves, and the kids start crying, and it's like, Kirk's a bit of a mean bastard in this. I kind of love it.
I mean, his whole point is to snap them into reality.
Yeah,
which he does, but my god.
And apparently that causes them to reject Gorgon, and that makes his face melt or something.
Yeah, he becomes ugly, and it's supposed to show the evil inside him.
Yeah,
it's a weird episode.
It's a pretty bad episode.
It's bad.
It's pretty fucking bad.
And it's got not good child actors.
Oh, it does not. Oh man, that's just...
You said, like, pretty much right out of the gate, you're like, have I ever called my reaction to the episode before it even begins?
It's true.
And I was like, not that I could think
of. In the pre-episode thoughts, I was like, I feel like it's going to have like bad child actors and I'm not going to like it. And it had bad child actors and I didn't like it, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm surprised that I was right, but I'm not surprised that I didn't like it. But that was "And the Children Shall Lead." I almost want to say "The Children Shall Lead," but it's "And the Children."
Right.
Shall
I thought that would maybe be part of like a line of dialogue.
No. Never. Wow, that sucked. Alright, I guess that about does it. Be sure to join us next week when we continue Star Trek: The Original Series. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.